You are tuning in to Nightline and I am Nurzipa Wanche. The top stories. International Paralympic Committee strips Malaysia of the right to host 2019 World Para Swimming Championships. And a Royal Commission of Inquiry to be set up to find answers to the Wang Kelian mass graves. The International Paralympic Committee, or IPC, has stripped Malaysia of the right to host the 2019 World Para Swimming Championships, which were due to be held in Kuching between July 29th and August 4th, 2019. IPC President Andrew Parsons said all World Championships must be open to all eligible athletes and nations to compete safely and free from discrimination. Parsons, in a statement on Sunday, said the committee had no alternative but to look for a new host when a host country decides to exclude athletes from a particular nation. He said regardless of the countries involved in this matter, the IPC would take the same decision again if it was to face a similar situation involving different countries. According to Parsons, in September 2017, when the IPC signed the contract with the Paralympic Council of Malaysia to host the World Para Swimming Championships, they were guaranteed that all eligible athletes and countries would be allowed to participate in the event with their safety guaranteed. Since then, he added that there has been a change of political leadership and the new Malaysian government has different ideas. As a result of the board's decision, Parsons revealed that the committee was looking for a new host for the World Championships, which acts as a qualifier for the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. Around 600 swimmers from 60 nations were expected to take part in Kuching, with more than 160 world titles up for grabs. Earlier this month, Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said Malaysia would not allow Israeli Paralympic swimmers to enter the country for the championships. Meanwhile, Youth and Sports Minister Syed Abdul Rahman stood firm behind Malaysia's decision to bar Israeli athletes from competing in the World Para Swimming Championships. Syed Saddiq, in a statement on Sunday, made it clear that the Malaysian government has no regrets and reminded the IPC of the atrocities Israel has committed towards Palestinians. He said if hosting an international sporting event is more important than standing up for our Palestinian brothers and sisters who get murdered, maimed and tortured by the Benjamin Netanyahu regime, that means Malaysia has truly lost its moral compass. He also stressed that Malaysia would like to kindly remind the IPC that even Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch have reported that the Netanyahu government is an active perpetrator of war crimes. The Securities Commission, or SC, on Sunday confirmed it is investigating Deloitte and KPMG on their roles as auditors of One Malaysia Development Berhad, or 1MDB. The Commission said its review of the conduct of auditors in relation to 1MDB audits is still ongoing. In an email reply to queries seeking for confirmation, an SC spokesperson said once the review is completed, the SC and the Audit Oversight Board will assess the findings and consider the appropriate next course of action. It was reported that the SC was assessing if these two audit firms were aiding and abetting in the 1MDB scandal or merely negligent. Ernst & Young was 1MDB's first auditor. It was sacked in 2010 without signing off the fund's accounts. KPMG replaced Ernst & Young and performed audits on 1MDB books in the years 2010, 2011 and 2012. Again, the 1MDB accounts were signed off without any qualifications. Deloitte took over for the years 2013 and 2014. The firm quit in 2015 after the US Department of Justice initiated legal action against 1MDB. Deloitte had signed off the 1MDB accounts without any qualification. Since 2015, 1MDB has not filed any financial statements. Federal Territories Minister Khalid Abdul Samad is set to expose yet another case of illegal construction on government land next week. Without deliberating further, he said this particular case is even worse as the building was constructed without the issuance of a development order. He said this when asked on the latest development of the encroachment case involving 2 government land lots at Medan Imbi, Kuala Lumpur. According to Khalid, the building owner has sent a letter to the Kuala Lumpur Land and Mineral Office, the mayor and his ministry to find a solution on the issue.
Tanah milik orang lain, bangunan milik orang lain. Penyelesaiannya ialah sama ada tanah dan bangunan tu menjadi pemilik yang sama, ialah sama ada yang pemilik bangunan tu beli tanah tu ataupun pemilik tanah tu ambil bangunan tu. Dan option yang kedua tu yang looks the most likely ialah PTG akan rampas bangunan tu lah. Ya, tapi kecuali kalau dia boleh berunding dengan PTG dan pemilik tanah untuk mencari penyelesaian. Minggu depan mungkin saya akan dedahkan satu lagi kes di mana tanah kerajaan, bangunan dibina, ni lagi teruk, DO pun tak ada. Dia main banner je, ya, tapi semua diam. Ya, so ni kita akan dedahkan minggu depan, insyaAllah.
On Wednesday, the Federal Territories Minister's Office filed a report with and urged the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission to investigate the trespassing case. 2 government land lots were believed to have been broken into by a company that claimed it was given the green light by an individual in the Kuala Lumpur City Hall, DBKL, through an agreement in 2015. Both lots at numbers 568 and 716 were initially an open space used as a playground and for small-scale trading activities before a 6-story office building and fruit stalls were built on the land. Sabah Chief Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Shafie Apdal has revealed that many state government-linked companies, GLCs, are facing financial problems. This included discrepancies in their accounts and management issues. Speaking to the media after launching Sabah's new football jersey on Sunday, Datuk Seri Shafie said the main focus of the government was to get to the bottom of the problem and to find solutions to these issues. He also noted that the most recent issue involved benta wawasan owned by Yayasan Sabah Group.
So ini yang penting kepada kita, pengurusan pentadbiran semua JLC yang ada di peringkat negeri Sabah ini kita kena susun semula. Dan dalam menyusun semula kita kena tahu apa sebenarnya keadaan yang berlaku pengurusan. Bukan hanya benta, banyak lagi warisan harta, Yayasan Sabah, banyak JLC yang kita tahu yang mempunyai aset-aset yang dahulunya cukup banyak, ya. Tapi pada saat ini kita tidak tahu ke mana aset ini.
In the case of Benta Wawasan, it was found that the previous state government had channeled 750 million ringgit to the company, but only 30 million ringgit remained. The state government had also given 150,000 hectares of land to Benta Wawasan for development, but only 40,000 hectares was utilized, with 25,000 hectares planted with oil palm trees. The CM also said that if the MACC wants to conduct investigations into the GLCs, it is free to do so. A Royal Commission of Inquiry will be set up to find answers to the Wang Kelian mass graves in Perlis. Home Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, in announcing this on Sunday, said the Commission will have 6 months to produce its findings.
Yang lebih baik untuk mengelakkan daripada salah faham, buruk sangka dan sebagainya itu, supaya sebuah Suruhanjaya Diraja ini dibentuk. Jadi kita telah namakan ahli-ahli yang akan duduk dalam Suruhanjaya itu. Kita bagi tempoh mulai dia diluluskan oleh Yang di-Pertuan Agong 6 bulan. Dan lepas tu bila laporan siap nanti kita akan bentangkanlah.
Tan Sri Muhyiddin, however, declined to reveal neither the names of the RCI panel members nor when the list of names would be submitted to the King. The Home Minister spoke to the media after attending the 2019 Perlis Malay Congress at University Malaysia Perlis, UNIMAP in Arau Perlis. In May 2015, 139 graves and 28 abandoned camps were discovered in the dense jungles along the Thai-Malaysia border in Wang Kelian Perlis. The squalid camps were used to house human trafficking victims. The government will be reviewing the Education Act to make it compulsory for students to complete their schooling from Standard 1 to Form 5. Deputy Education Minister Teo Ni Ching said parents who fail to send their children to school may be faced with a 5,000 ringgit fine or jail for up to 6 months. She said the Education Act currently requires students to complete their schooling from Standard 1 to Standard 6. At present, the country has achieved a 98% rate of students in primary schools, but the target is 100%. At the same time, Teo also said that there are no plans to reintroduce the streaming system into schools as it is discriminatory, adding the streaming was unfair as it puts high achiever or low achiever labels on children at a young age. She also said that she understood the dissatisfaction from parents and teachers about the matter, but urged them to support the ministry's initiative as some education systems, like Finland's, have gone to be the best in the world since they did away with the streaming system. Parti Keadilan Rakyat accepts the results of the Cameron Highlands by-election and congratulates Barisan Nasional candidate Ramli Muhammad Noor for being chosen as the people's representative. Its president, Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, also urged Pakatan Harapan to employ a smarter approach when dealing with racial and religious issues. He also congratulated the Election Commission for managing the by-election well, especially for public complaints and speedy announcement of results. Ramli won the Cameron Highlands by-election on Saturday with a resounding majority over Pakatan's M. Manugaran and 2 other independent candidates. The Cameron Highlands seat, which was won by Barisan's Datuk C. Sivaraj during the 14th general election, was nullified by the election court on November 30th, which found that corrupt practices were committed to induce voters to vote. In another development, DAP Secretary-General Lim Guan Eng said the Pakatan Harapan is happy that it managed to gain 3% more votes compared with the previous election.
Sungguh pun mereka menang, tapi majoriti BN PAS telah turun. Kerana kalau kita lihat pilihan raya umum 2018, majoriti adalah 4,184 undi. So kita telah berjaya kurangkan kepada 3,200 lebih lah. Dan ini saya rasa di antara sebabnya ialah kerana pertama peratusan undi penyokong kita telah turun sebanyak 15%.
Lim added that this gave PH confidence to fight and improve itself, including the party machinery for the next by-election. He also congratulated the new Cameron Highlands Member of Parliament, Ramli Muhammad Noor, for becoming the first ever Orang Asli lawmaker in the country's history. The Road Transport Department, or RTD, has denied issuing new compound rates for summonses. In a statement through the department's Facebook page, the RTD said it never issued such information pertaining to the new compound rates, which corresponded with various types of offences. That information has since gone viral. The RTD advises the public not to easily believe everything that is circulated through the WhatsApp application, whose valid source cannot be verified. The so-called new compound rates by the Road Transport Department started spreading since last Friday. And after the breather, French tourist killed in Malacca accident. Details next. Delicately positioned over 9 hectares of land and surrounded by towering 260 million-year-old limestone hills and lush rainforest, the Banjaran Hot Springs Retreat is more than a fitting destination for a honeymoon or romantic getaway. It is also the first luxury natural hot springs retreat in Malaysia, where guests can escape the stress of modern life with a range of incredible wellness programs that guarantees an unforgettable experience. Located in the northern state of Perak, only 15 minutes drive from Ipoh and 2 hours drive from Kuala Lumpur, is the beautiful 5-star health and wellness destination with acres of lush green hills and gardens. 45 private villas make up the whole resort for exclusivity, with choices of garden, water or lake views that bring on the real meaning of relaxation. Each villa also comes with their own private pool and hot spring jacuzzi. Whichever you opt for, be prepared for a full mind and body detox.
Guests' primary reason for coming to Banjaran is relax, really. And our specialty, of course, is the fact that we are blessed with the hot spring water. So, of course, the guests can make the best out of it.
For those looking for some peace and quiet, the Meditation Cave presents just that, where all surrounding noise is muted and mobile reception becomes non-existent. Set within a limestone cave, the magnificent Jeff's Cellar is one of the most unique bar and restaurant in the world. It was also named as one of the 5 most magnificent bars in the world by CNN Greece.
We have just a few days back launched our new Sky Bar. It's not future, but it's just happened very, very recently. So all the new and previous customer can now enjoy a new venue. It's located on top of the hill, so has fantastic views over the resort.
Whether it is the healing of body, mind or soul you're looking for, Banjaran has it and more. The abundance and seclusion of nature also work hand in hand to refresh, rejuvenate and renew all your senses. In Malacca, a pedestrian was killed after he was hit by a car in an accident involving 2 vehicles in front of a self-service laundrette. In the 11:45 a.m. incident, the victim was believed to have been walking to cross the intersection at Jalan Malacca Raya 12 before he was hit by a BMW, which skidded after a crash with another vehicle, a Honda Jazz. The victim has been identified as Tatarian Maurice, 64, from France. It was understood that Maurice was dragged for about 20 meters before he was pinned in between the car and a column in front of the laundrette. Central Malacca Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Afzaniza Ahmad said based on initial investigation, the BMW driven by a 34-year-old had grazed the Honda Jazz driven by a 27-year-old, causing the BMW to lose control and ram the victim before dragging him onto the pavement of the building. Maurice died at the scene from severe injuries to his body and legs, while the 2 drivers escaped unhurt. Maurice's body has been sent to the Malacca Hospital for post-mortem. The case is being investigated under Section 41, Subsection 1A of the Road Transport Act 1987. Magistrate Muhammad Bukhari Mat Roslan released 2 company directors, including one with a Datuk title, on an MECC bail of 100,000 ringgit and 2 sureties each. They were previously remanded for 5 days to assist investigations into an alleged false claims and bribery case involving 1.8 million ringgit, along with another female insurance agent who had been released earlier on Friday. According to MECC sources, the 3 of them were alleged to have accepted a bribe from a manufacturing equipment supplier in the purchase of manufacturing machines for the company. Using luxury cars to break into school premises. That is the latest modus operandi by a school break-in gang in Kota Tinggi, Johor. District Police Chief Superintendent Asmon Baja said the tactic was uncovered after 3 members of the gang, aged between 22 and 31, were arrested in a raid at Felda Sungai Mas in Bandar Penawa 2 days ago. In the raid, various stolen items were found, including 6 branded laptops, a projector and a printer. Following the arrest, police believe they can resolve 2 theft cases and school break-ins, as well as 3 stolen motorcycle cases, with an estimated loss of over 200,000 ringgit. In Kelantan, news of a weeping petai tree has caught the attention of locals at Kampung Petani in Sereng, Kota Baru. The 30-year-old tree is said to have been shedding tears like rain since Monday. It was understood that the strange phenomenon has also prompted Kampung Petani folks to start clambering the tree with buckets to collect its tears that are said to be clear and even smells like petai. Since the weeping incident, the tree has not been short of visitors, with the surrounding atmosphere being even more lively at night, as that is when the petai tree weeps. Back, scores killed in Philippines church bombings. Welcome back. In the Philippines, at least 27 people were killed and over 80 others were wounded after 2 bombs hit a church during Sunday Mass on the southern island province of Sulu. According to local authorities, among the dead were 7 soldiers and 20 civilians. Initial investigation revealed that 2 suspected improvised explosive devices, IEDs, were detonated in intervals. The first bomb went off inside the Holo Catholic Church, followed by a second blast in the parking lot, leaving debris and bodies scattered near the cathedral's entrance. Following the incident, troops in armoured carriers sealed off the main road, while the victims were rushed to the hospital for medical treatment. Authorities believe the notorious Abu Sayyaf kidnap for ransom group could be behind the blasts. However, no one has claimed responsibility for the attack. The deadly incident came 6 days after the mainly Muslim region had approved a plan to govern itself by 2022 in hopes of ending nearly 5 decades of a separatist rebellion that has claimed the lives of 150,000 people. And in another development, Brazilian authorities have recovered at least 40 bodies after a tailings dam burst at an iron ore mine owned by mining giant Vale in Brumadinho. Authorities are now in the midst of searching for almost 300 others still missing. Out of the total, more than 260 were Vale Mining Company employees who were eating lunch on Friday afternoon when the dam collapsed. It's unclear how many have since been rescued. Unfortunately, at this point, the chances of finding survivors are minimal and death toll is expected to rise sharply. The government, meanwhile, has announced a prompt fine of $66.2 million against the mining company and seized company assets as security. The cause of the collapse is still under investigation. Annual Spring Festival Lantern Show opened in Kunming, capital of Southwest China's Yunnan province on Friday, drawing tourists from across the country for an evening of dazzling lights, colours, shapes and themes. We leave you with this illuminating spectacle as Nightline draws to a close. This time around, I'm Norzi Patwance. Thank you for watching and have a productive week ahead.
只有你没有他。你要相信我的情意并不假，只有你才是我梦想，只有你才叫我牵挂，我的心里没有他，我的心里只有你没有他。你要相信